As the MCU continues to rapidly expand into the multiverse, there is a lot of fear that Marvel Studios is about to devalue and ruin deaths for the MCU and the entire universe. And some people already believe that this is a thing due to Marvel's What If. Now let's hear from Marvel Studios themselves. So this was recently addressed by director Brian Andrews, who directed Marvel's What If, and there's been a few little notable mentions of this exact thing from Marvel Studios, pretty much everybody involved with it, talking about, what Marvel's What If does and what the multiverse opens up as a possibility, and them talking about character deaths. And Brian Andrews decided to talk a little bit about devaluing characters by having the multiverse there, where it doesn't feel like, death is as important or as prominent. And he revealed that he feels like it's not really a problem, that this isn't a thing, and that some people are overblowing it because it is the multiverse. It's not the same character. If a character you saw dies, they're dead. If a different multiverse character shows up, they're a different version of that character. And he says that more or less, if you look at that, the people that understand that feel exactly that way. It's not devaluing anything. Some people feel like, well, if you show other versions of characters, then that does devalue the core character's death. But I would argue that that's not necessarily true, because how many variants of Lokis and things did we see in Marvel's Loki? And still, the death of those Lokis is independent from one another, and each one has their own type of story. And now that, let's say, old Loki is gone, classic Loki by Richard E. Grant, he's gone, right? So that death is permanent. If they go to another multiverse where he plays a different version, that's a different version. So I kind of agree with him on this. I think people are taking this idea and overblowing it without really thinking about the entire thing, because that's the whole point of the multiverse, is to be able to tell different stories where things happen that are completely different. Hence why Tony Stark got killed off tons of times in Marvel's What If. It's kind of crazy, right? And it's really not surprising that the Marvel multiverse will continue to do this, because that's exactly what it's about. If it plays out the same, and all the same characters stay alive and nothing changes, then you're just in the proper universe. Like, where's the fun in that? You just want the same story retold with nothing changed in animation or in another multiverse? Are the people complaining like, I want to see Doctor Strange go in the multiverse, and in that multiverse, everything's the same? Well, then why are we there? That's no fun. Now, if he enters the multiverse and suddenly Steve Rogers has an Iron Man suit, now that's interesting. How did we get there, and how did Tony Stark die? Tell us that story.